Yeah. It's getting insaner still. I'm still missing. Oh, damn it. Just made a mistake. Have to close this. Now you can all see that I'm using an emulator. You know, I'm still not sure if this is allowed or not. I mean, I'm promoting the game, right? All I can say is I bought it as a child. You know, if you like the game, buy it. I already bought it. But to record this, it's basically impossible without an emulator. You know, then you could also ask, of course, why do you have to record it? Well, I just want to see if there's something in it. You know, is this something that I would like to do for longer periods of time? Or not? Yeah. I'm constantly thinking whether I should put this up again. Yeah, I'm doing this now simply because I feel like it. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit because I'll rather stand later. Alright. 59. And there's of course the question why I'm drinking the coffee now. You can also keep it and then drink it as an iced coffee. Okay, I could do this one. Yeah, I have this one. I could do this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna see. It says just drink the coffee. No, just drink it. You can always make another one. Like, who runs like this? Okay, this is about... getting all the crates. Yeah, you can like super speed yourself. Now you can also remember that there's nothing here to... like, I don't have to destroy these crates because... this is world number 3 maybe. And I'm only getting the bazooka at a later stage, I think. Yes. Because I'm only getting the bazooka at stage 4. 4. Maybe in this one, you know. I don't have to remember this. Doing. I always think he's reading a book. Maybe that's what I would do. But I actually don't think so. I can just do this. But I got it all. I really used to like to watch these High School Musical movies. I always had a romantic side to myself. Now I'm warming up to this, by the way. I always had a romantic side. Girlfriends often appreciated it, but if you just have a romantic side, it may also get a little bit boring. So you know, it's good to be romantic, but it's also good to know how to hold your ground. I mean, having a romantic side is nice. You know, to be kind and gentle is really nice when you're 4 years old. But you certainly have to learn how to defend yourself. And I'm not saying this in a very... you know... you just have to punch everyone kind of way. I'm saying this in a... I mean, toughen up. I mean, toughen up. No, I went into nature. Okay, that wasn't it. That certainly wasn't it. Did I miss something? Did I do something wrong? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm doing this. No, you could say it's better than doing nothing, which is the alternative. You could say at least I'm filming it. Yeah, I'm getting sick of this again. Because I don't know how to... Right, I already did that one and there was no crystal. Like, I feel like I'm missing something here. And I'm not sure what I'm missing. Okay, let's just check. I don't remember any other secret passageway. Literally. So what am I supposed to do? I've already done that one again, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna try it again. I have a feeling maybe tomorrow I should hike again, but... Wow. The other one I like better. Actually, I haven't done it. I don't remember. Yes, I have. How am I supposed to get that one? I really do not remember. I I know that I've tried and I tried and I tried a lot of things in this game, and none of them were it. Right? I mean, I remember trying to jump on top of things. But it says there's a yellow gem here. Okay, maybe I have to keep my eyes open. Right. Because if I would be able to jump into that, I have the feeling there's just nothing here. And that's a tough one to accept. I mean, yeah, I always like to make sure to get that one. Yeah, you see, do not remember. What I can try is nothing. I mean, it's a strange, strange game. It's certainly not about collecting all the crates, which is why I may just continue. There's just nothing. There's just nothing here. Right, crates aren't it. I just smelled some kind of food. You know, I'm a bit like, I feel a bit weird because I bought mayonnaise. No. I have some mayonnaise, let's just say it like this. I have some mayonnaise that I took from a party. And you know, I carried it on a very hot day. It was 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, that wasn't it either. I'm so stupid. I carried it on a hot day, like 35 degrees Celsius kind of hot. There it is. And I cannot get there. You know, that's usually the point where I say, maybe I have to look this up. Because I find this a little bit boring. Like, I didn't want to use the phone. For whatever reason. But I could do better. Yeah. No. I don't call this cheating. I just say. Maybe I just have to say hello or something. But this just isn't it. I never had this kind of patience. Like other people, where I just spend hours trying to figure this stuff out. Right? It's a shame, right? I mean, they could have made this just a little bit less hard. I mean, you know, I've got just nothing. There's just nothing here. You know, there are no hints, no nothing. And clearly, the way they want you to do it is to just keep playing the game until you know, right? Until you know. But I just don't have that kind of patience. And that's, of course, a decent excuse. Now, why, for God's sake? If I turn on my mobile data, now I have to live with the fear every time that I get another email from YouTube. That's okay. Let's check. What is a man-eater? That's my newest episode on my podcast. Okay. I'm just gonna look up Crash Bandicoot 3 Yellow. Oh wait. Yellow Gen. You know, you could say I'm solving this for everyone. That's of course bullshit. I'm just too lazy. I mean, that's basically what psychedelics are. That's what coffee is. I could do a whole lot of breath work to feel as alive as I want to feel. But then I choose to... Come on. Come on. Yeah, I ran out of this fast data, and now I have to wait for a simple search request. Wait, I'm just gonna check. How is this one called? It's 7. Hang 'em high, that's one. That's the one. First you have to obtain any 10 relics and use the secret portal. Okay. Now I got it. So I was reluctant to do this. Now I'm gonna do it anyway. So you have to do the time trials. There's no way around this. You have to do time trials. I thought I could avoid doing the time trials. Now I know I cannot. But it's okay, you know, once you know how to run... Fuck. Damn. I think you cannot use this superpower. I didn't check the time before. I just assumed this is going to be 46:23. Oh yeah, golden. Okay, next time I'm just gonna check. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it C. Because everybody knows who that is. It's me. Alright. 1 minute 3. But you generally only know how fast you have to be for... Yeah, forget it. Okay, let's just... I don't want this. This is terrible. I mean, I've already... I think it's less hard than I think it is. I certainly need something again today. You know, I saved 2 seconds. But how much do I lose, right? I think everybody can agree how stupid this is. Special. Alright, I made it. Amazing. But where's the fun? I mean, where's the fun? If you just rush through it, I mean... But I think it just has to be that way. I just have to rush through this now. Just let's check. How... Yeah, so 128. This one's actually fun. This one is nice. 41 seconds, that's an insane ride. I'm so close to tears. Often. I don't know why. This one's actually fun in the time trials. Yeah, I mean... Like I said, I just went through a lot of shit with my family. Still processing it. You know? And that's also the mean thing. Like, they could show... Oh, I should have taken that. Yeah, I mean, that's not a problem at all. But you also have to consider how often I've already played it. Plus, the nice thing is if you do time trials, you do not need you don't need lives. Which may be nice, I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna focus because this is really fast. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've played this so many times. Sure, I could have gotten that faster. Plus, now you lose time. Actually, that's interesting. Cool. Well, of course, I'm used to the controls and all that kind of stuff. If you've never done that before, you know, that's basically like sex. If you've never had sex before, so in a way, I could say, I mean, what do I care if I meet someone and they already slept with somebody else? What do I care if I already slept with somebody else? Because I'm not who I used to be. So you could say you have a clean slate. But the way I feel about it, you know, I would rather be with somebody I've never met before than to meet someone that I already had a lot of trouble with. But of course, if you consider it this way, how much can you transform if you met already and you have a history together and both of you feel like, you know, there's a point to meet again. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Then why shouldn't you take that time? But then who should be the initiator? Is of course a very good question. Yeah, what's the point of this? Actually, he catches them for you. Not all of them. That's the nice thing about being chased by the rhinoceros. It's not a rhinoceros. It's Triceratops, if you want to call it that. Zack! I don't even remember what the other one was. Okay, this is turning out to be quite nice. I don't know why I was so against it. I mean, you don't give a shit about it. I mean, that's basically my life. I mean, that's the essence of jump and run. Okay, but there are levels which I would say, and it's also pretty nice if you realize that you're collecting a lot of gems. Plus, if there's a... Yeah, okay. Yeah, just do it, right? I mean, what's the point of pretending that you can't do it if you can? Right? What's the point of pretending that you cannot do it if you can? Now that's a very good question. You see, I missed that one. What's the point of pretending that you cannot do it. Hey, that was nice. Maybe it was intended that way, I just never realized. I mean, that's just a question probably a lot of people have to ask themselves. Because a lot of people act like they're super mediocre while they could do so much better. So much better. Plus, of course, we are often being kicked around by others because we're too weak, and that brings me back to the point that you have to be strong. Like, no matter what, I mean, because if you're weak, you're either gonna turn into, you know, somebody who once used to have balls and now has no balls anymore. Well, okay. I think I could have done that faster. I don't know how. You know, now I'm getting greedy. Now I want the gold. Now I want the gold. Now I want the gold medal. I don't know what you said. Let's just see. Yeah, come on. You know, let's just for the sake of, you know, I gave it my best shot. Because gold just looks so much nicer. I mean, just imagine we would still pay in gold. How much nicer that would look as opposed to these dollar bills that we use, or money bills, or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's dollar or euro, it's all basically the same thing. So in this one, it certainly helps to make an effort to collect all of them. Okay. Now I still have that one, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, that's certainly also a point as you get better at navigating this. You know, I was really... This one I missed, I think. No, I didn't. Maybe I missed this one. Wow, certainly missed these, which I think is quite cool. Plus I'm, you know, I can still talk. Okay, I missed that one. That one I did not miss. Yeah, I got all of them. So let's just see how far that's gonna get us. Yeah. Chaka. 5, 4, 3, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I used to pay a lot of attention to numbers. I didn't think I would enjoy it that much. Okay, I think... Let's just check. It doesn't really matter. Because a gem is a gem. It doesn't matter if it's... Okay, this one's that. Okay, I get that. Gold. Gold. Yeah. I'm just gonna... It's also, you know, just to do it one after another without being too picky. That's also a challenge to just say, you know, I'm just gonna take it. As it comes. I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. was certainly... No, I'm not sure what I'm getting better. Okay. But actually that's beneficial to me. Because I felt like I screwed up a couple of times. Okay. Me. Jesus. Head on. Okay, it's also, you know, I don't have to be overly picky. I don't have to be overly, like, competitive, right? I don't have to be the best there is, you know? I can just be content with, yeah, I'm just gonna manage, you know? It's not about always being the fastest. It's just about holding your ground. Jesus. Yeah, I'm already fast enough. See, that's the problem that you get from people that are overly competitive. You know, it gets to the point where it's actually becoming destructive. Right? It's like, well, you always have to be perfect. Why? It could be alright to just, right, to just be good at, you know? There are people that are so eager to win that they cannot stand it to lose. Which is something I've learned. I can lose. And there are people that are so eager to win, you know, that they're willing to bite you in the finger if they cannot manage. You know, that's what you see in soccer. I mean, that's what you see everywhere in the world. You know, people are so toxic. Simply because they think, you know, I'm going for the win, I want to look good. Yeah, but how good do you really look when you're living your life the way you're living it, you know? Having the biggest car comes at the cost of other people having no space to park their car anymore. Just because you want to have a big car, you know, in a city, you know, you could just get like a transporter, you know, like a van. That's big enough to transport things. You don't have to have a super huge pickup car. Because, I mean, we don't live in the desert. Right? We don't live in the desert. Ah, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I get that. You know, that's the other thing. What a prick. I mean, why does he have to laugh? Cheers. See, that's where it gets... That actually... I'm not sure if that happened already. Okay, so speed can also come at a cost. Right? And that's what I often realize. that you miss the opportunity to do other things. See? You get like edgy. You know, you're like itching for the win. So that you can like... I mean, how often do you see soccer players who just are not just professional soccer? You know, I'm just sticking with soccer because it's like one of the most materialistic things you can find in terms of body and, you know, I'm sexy. Just look at people like that Ronaldo or whatever. I mean, yeah, he's good, but he's also a complete jerk. You know, he could be good and support his entire team, but he chooses to be only good for himself. Sure. His team is probably winning also because of him, but what you should never forget is that it's always a team effort, right? I cannot do what I do simply on my own. That's the truth. But I'm not sure. Yeah, it's okay. You see, it's also getting, you know, you're having a good run because maybe some levels are easier for you, or they're just in general easier to run fast. Because if you just have a level like with the knights and stuff, right, you can just crush it. But yeah, this one's nice. Alright. But it's also a challenge because you're going fast already, which is why you need the crates. And you need the... like, you cannot screw up. Yeah, you can. I mean... wait, where? Okay. I mean, I barely touched it. You see, I should have taken that one. Alright. But, sure, I mean, it's also good to give yourself credit when you're playing something the first time. Maybe you're here, you know, I'm sometimes not sure if there is actually a circle of life and death. In the sense that, you know, I'm being reborn as somebody else. You know. Right? Maybe I used to be... I almost remember that time. Cool. You know, you could say maybe I used to be somebody else and now I'm here again and I have certain abilities. Yeah, it's possible. But why does it have to be that way? You know, can't it just be, I'm just living my life? Because it makes it really confusing if I think I've been here before. You know, I can literally talk myself into, you know, I've been Gandhi before, I've been Jesus before. I mean, I felt like some of these things could be true. But what's the point? What's the point? I mean, I have to live now. And that's basically what shapes who I am to a very great deal. Yeah, of course, they don't give you anything here. Because I simply say, you know, I also don't really care for my abilities. I just say, hey, I have abilities, and I'm just trying to use them in the best way that I can. You see. You know, I cannot speed this up. And I almost screwed up here. I certainly screwed up there. So, I have certain abilities. And one of my abilities is that I'm good on my own. You know, I can cope. I can cope. You can just give me money and food, and I know how to manage. You know, other people couldn't do it. You know, none of my siblings could do it in the way that I'm doing it. Because that's just the way it is. And then I can say, you know, who's Prince of Persia? Well, I think I would be. He controls time. I'm conscious about the fact that time is relative. Right? Not everybody is. So I can stretch out time and I can shrink time. But I also realize that, you know, if I drink coffee, you see, now I could like... I could have taken the shortcut. Yeah. Just saying. You need good timing. And that's why I do have the feeling that there is a point to this, that I have the feeling maybe I've been here before. Maybe I've done this again, because it is repetition. And I just have to make sure that it doesn't become boring. Because if it becomes boring, and I just sit at home and I run out of ideas, then to me that's already death. You know, I have to do something to contribute. Okay, nice. You know, I have to do something to contribute to the community, and now you can call it sadhana and look at it from this really like, oh yeah, spirituality, blah blah blah. But what you always have to consider is that everybody has the choice. Right? Everybody has the choice. I mean, everybody can make the choices that I'm making, but not really. Because, you know, not everybody has parents that can afford to pay an apartment for them, so that they can do this. You know, not everybody will be rich. You can work to be rich. But, I mean, there's people that are, I don't know, at the age of 40, you know, they stand around and they're obese. I've never really been obese. I've been chubby, alright? Yeah, good that you survived. You know, I've been chubby. Why do you shake your head, man? You're the one steering. I think I can be perfect. But I also know that I think I don't want to be. I feel like I don't want to be because have the feeling that there's also a nice thing about just being a little bit weird, you know, to being a little bit out of place, to be just a little bit, you know, like everybody else. Because if I'm always concerned about being super good at everything, and I forget that I can also lose, you know, it's very hard to be always the winner. It's very hard to be always the winner. You know, I've lost so many times, and that's basically what Zuko said to Sokka. He said, you're gonna lose again and again and again. But, you know, I don't know what he exactly said. But what I took out of it, you know, just have to keep trying. I mean, just give it your best shot. And, you know, not everybody is Prince Zuko. You know, he was born into this. Into this kind of family. Hey, yo. See, now you can get it. He was born in... You see, now I'm not doing it. Because I just did it because I wanted the yellow gem. He was born into this. Look how they... Huh? I did not do this. He was born into this. And he accepted, you know, it's not about accepting it. It's just, okay, you're being born as the crown prince. Okay, deal with it. I mean, he could have been the prince his father wanted. But he wasn't that. You know, I could have been the son my father wanted. You know. But it just wasn't that. Yeah. Now I have to get back to not being like super riled up. You see how most of these are nitro cranes? Jesus. How am I supposed to get that? See? That was just very interesting. You know, I think it's good to talk about this. Because my father wanted me, you know, I had the feeling my parents saw that I had potential. And they tried to push me, you know. I studied environmental protection. And I managed to finish. Which for my father was like, oh wow, you know. He's an engineer. He's an engineer now. Interesting, right? He's an engineer now. And, I mean, you can take great pride in that. and say, oh wow, yeah, you're an engineer. Yeah. But I became more like an engineer of my own life than, you know, I said I want this in my life, and I want that in my life. But this I'd rather not have. So I made choices. You know, I started sorting out stuff. And whatever spirituality is, I would say, you know, there are still people I'm really uncertain about. You know, like friends from the past, that when I sit here in this room alone, you know, they feel like they basically almost don't exist. And I just know that this one's hell. You know, I'm good at this. I'm good at working with fear. And the reason why most people don't manage to spend time on their own, well, it's quite simple. Because they're afraid. Hey, this is the one you could see from the other side already. Wow, 100 crates. You see why this is insane? And I think there are some like hidden passageways. So, you know, Eminem turned out to be Eminem. Not because he had to be Eminem, but because he was Eminem. I mean, he realized, I don't know, there seems to be something that I can do. You know, he didn't do it for anybody else but himself. And that's why, you know, I'm also doing what I'm doing out of selfish reasons. You know, I'm not just the nice guy. You know? And that's what Terence McKenna said. You know, I just keep listening to the people that I like and that I feel like have something to say because they've lived it already. And it's about, you know, most people that I meet, you know, if I meet you and you're obese and you have pain in your neck, then you clearly don't understand something. So, you know, what kind of teachings am I supposed to get from you? Right? Because, I mean, you already don't manage, you know, we're the same age. And you don't manage to figure out your diet, you know? You don't manage to push yourself. And that has nothing to do solely just because, oh yeah, I know it's easy for you to say, because your parents pay your apartment. Yeah. What would you do if your parents would pay your apartment? Wow. What would you do if your parents would pay your apartment? Yeah, you would sit around. And you would walk around through the city, you know, like, oh yeah, my parents pay my apartment. And you would allow this, you know, instead of using the time to give something to people who don't have the time to sit here, play games, and talk about shit. You know, I've simply learned to manage myself, you know, but I also accept that I need help in a certain way. You know, I need help. Yeah. I need help in a certain way. You know, I have certain abilities, but there are abilities that I don't have. Like, I don't do well in large corporations because they drown me. I need to have my own space like this in order to be free. Because as soon as I, you know, when I spend time with people, they just try to push me down, and they're so annoying about this that all I'm going to be able to do is, you know, try to keep you away from me. Because yeah, I get it. I think I'm a nice guy. And I had to learn to be just a little bit vicious so that you don't think you can do with me what you want. And yeah, you know, that's again one of these ones where you think, sorry, what? I know certain things that you may say are bogus, that are not true, but when you look at the way I live my life and the content that I create, what you have to admit is that I have understood something. You may not like it, what I'm doing, but at least I managed to not do, you know, the Chester Bennings. I'm just saying it because, you know, I liked him when I was a child. When I was younger, you know, I listened to him screaming his depression into the microphone, you know, with no way of escape basically, and that's probably how I felt. You know, that's how a lot of people feel. That's how a lot of, oh wow, nice. That's how a lot of people feel. You know, you just have to keep watching, looking out for checkpoints, and then say, okay, I got that one, you know, I got that one now. And then you simply continue. And sometimes you have to simply continue, do it again, do it again, do it again. You know, I always keep going back to, you know, it's like field stripping a weapon. That's Avatar. You know, Jake Sully says it, you know, that's like how you learn language. And what most people don't understand is that hey, both, nice. You know, emotions have their own language. Emotions have their own language. You know, whether you want to accept it or not, emotions have their own language. And I learned to understand them. And I was on it, so I know what it means, right? I mean, if you buy a fancy big car that you know, from a rational point of view, actually would not need at all in this environment, and that's actually just making the air way more toxic, you know, you just want to be bigger than everybody else. Yeah, I mean, you know, you just showed that to everyone. I mean, sure. You want to be super popular. And that's why you want to have this car, right? Everybody wants to do something to stand out. And sorry, I'm really good at standing out. But not because I pride myself about my abilities, but simply because I don't give a crap. I mean, I do what I'm doing simply because I just realized that I'm good at certain things. And, you know, I'm not a... What? I just completely avoided that. And that's interesting because I actually have a feeling the previous time I was here I had 49. It's possible. Because I didn't take these. And maybe I had 48. You know, this is fun. I can do this again. Who cares, right? Who cares? So, I have certain abilities. I can sit here and I talk about stuff that I took a long time to understand. And it's not that I'm talking about it. It's that I actually learned a lot of lessons. You know, that I went to the brink of death, that I allowed myself to sink into the depression. And what I've said multiple times before, that I'm basically the guy that you see on the streets, only I had parents to take me in again. I had parents to take me in again that gave me money. You know, I'm the guy also who hates his job, but because my parents have money to some degree, you know, we're not like millionaires. It's just, that's middle class, man. And because, you know, they saw also how I was struggling. You know, that's not a joke, that's the truth. They saw how reluctant I was to give in on my dream. And that's why ultimately, because I'm their son, man. You want to be jealous about parents providing for their children? You want to be jealous about that? You know, have a blast. You know, but it's still happening all over the world. You know, parents take care of their children. And when you see that your child is struggling, and your child says, you know, I really want to do this. You know, we are lacking people with creative abilities. Why do you think people create AI? Because everybody's too stupid to be an artist these days. Everybody's just lazy. You know, everybody just sits around watching Netflix and YouTube. But who's really creating? I mean, really like doing new things. Like, who does that? I mean, that's the minority. That's really, really the Minority Report. That's a great book, by the way, by Philip K. Dick, which is an interesting name. To say the least. Okay, now there's 4 crates left. Let's just hope that. Yeah, that's 4. Cheers! Yeah, I couldn't have stood. Yeah, if I would have had to do that again, you know, I would have done it, and I will do it again. I will do the time trial. That's gonna drive me mad. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm making myself clear. Like, fairly clear. Okay, now I have the habit of doing it, which is why I can just do it again. Because I've just done it, so just do it again. And I have created so much content, like content you don't even know I did because I've already deleted it. So, you know, I'm a professional content producer, and I just really hope that I can continue doing this, that YouTube will never take down my channel because they see, okay, I think he really just wants to, you know, help people in the sense that, you know, you don't have to kill yourself, you know, you can just be creative. Because if everybody starts doing AI now, then we're gonna get really bored, like really fast. And that's not bullshit, that's just a lie. That's a fact, you know? If, you know, we can't even do art anymore, I mean, what are humans then? What are humans if we don't do art? I mean, because art is emotion. Art is pure and raw emotion. This is honesty. If I sit here, you know, I consider what I'm doing a form of art. And I have to do that because if I don't do it, you know, people will drown me. And I'm dealing with a lot of sadness, and I'm just making sure that, wow, there's a lot of these crates here. You know, I'm just making sure that I keep my shit together, that I don't kill myself, you know, because that's a choice. That's a conscious decision where I say, you know, I'm struggling, you know, I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna push through whether or not my neighbor wants this. Because if I push through, you know, and I meet so-called friends from my past, and they're obese now and unhappy, and they see how I have a smile on my face, well, then my smile can either motivate them to also find something for themselves or to simply figure out their diet. Or, you know, it can just make them feel jealous. But, you know, what do I have to do? You know, what does it do to me if you feel jealous? I don't care, man. You know? At a certain point, I just had to say, you know, if I care about how my siblings feel about it, that my parents pay my apartment at the moment, you know, then they don't know how I feel. They don't know what I'm doing. And if they don't know, well, why should I consider their opinions? Because they have to make their own choices. And they did, you know. My parents could not support us all. I'm aware of that. And I'm making sure that, you know, whatever I'm doing here is going to be at least successful to a certain degree, you know. And I'm going at an insane pace. In order to be a content creator on YouTube, you have to be like insanely determined. You know, if you're really angry, you're not gonna last. You know, I'm just saying, because you know, that's something that I actually like about YouTube. That they make sure that, you know, their website stays somewhat clean from people that are too angry. And I had to really pull myself together in order to, yeah, question. That makes no sense. Right, it's like, what's the point of a detour? Like, I mean, why do I need just one more crate for 2 seconds if I have to go around for it? You know, I don't get that. You know, and I don't get it why you cannot figure. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, you're obese. You are obese, my friend. And if you are obese, you know, if you're not obese, it's not gonna hit you. But if you are, you know, you're gonna hear it. And that's not me saying, that's you are saying this to yourself. I mean, you're obese. Why? Like, why? It's so easy. I mean, it's so easy to understand diet. I mean, you eat too much sugar, you're gonna get fat. I mean, that's just simple. That's the simplest truth. I mean, it's so obvious. Like, if you smoke cigarettes, you're gonna feel terrible to a certain degree. You know, if you drink too much coffee and you start shouting at people, well, then maybe you should stop. Right? If you cannot handle coffee, then stop drinking it. You know, if you keep having blackouts from drinking alcohol, then stop drinking alcohol. Or just drink less, you know? Or maybe just once every couple of weeks. So, these are the simplest psychedelic substances. It's sugar, right? It's sugar, it's coffee, it's alcohol, you know? If you don't manage to deal with these, you know, don't even try anything else. I already learned to balance my consciousness with alcohol. I realized as I kept drinking alcohol, you know, I became better at being sober, although I was drinking. You know, everybody else drank and everybody was like, yeah, I'm super drunk. I was like, why do I feel sober? I mean, I drank a lot. I drank a lot of alcohol, you know, just like party. Yeah. But I stood in opposition to my friends who still don't manage. Even though I drink the same amount they drink, you know, they are like, ugh, I feel sick, you know. 4 years older than me people that still don't know when to stop, and that after they have drunk just sit around feeling sick, while what do? You know, I go for a hike for 13 hours, and that's not a joke. I did that. And whether you believe it or not, well, just look at myself, just look at my body. You know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm the best guy there is. I'm just saying, yeah, I do these things. Hey, okay, that I still have to, okay. Ah, requires 25, requires 20, requires 50. Now I understand. I don't fully like this concept, but I accept that it exists, okay? You know, I don't understand why you are the way you are. All I have to understand what I'm here to do, right? I don't want to be like you. I'm not a follower, I'm a creator. I'm a creator and I create. I create at an insane pace, you know? And I don't know how long I will be able to do this, but I mean, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna say that, you know, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life, but I'm doing it now. And I'm probably going to continue because, you know, I like it. You know, I thought about sweeping the streets to do some kind of community service, but what's the point of sweeping streets for the rest of my life? You know, I can do better. You know, I can sweep hearts. I can sweep minds simply by showing what I can do. I mean, I'm just playing this game and I'm talking about stuff that most people have never even thought about. So, I think we all need to realize that we can learn from each other. And sometimes you have to realize, you know, that you have to start accepting teachings from other people. Because if you're still trying to teach me something, but you're not listening to what I have to say, I think I need the yellow gem for that. You know, then I will simply stop talking to you. Because if you are reluctant to hear what I have to say, then I'm simply not listening. And that's exactly the situation I ran in with my sister, where she bit me in my finger because she was like super drunk. Yeah, that's just an excuse, by the way. Right? Nobody's too drunk for anything, it's just an excuse. You think you can get away with anything just because you're drunk. I've proven to myself that there's no excuse for anything. You can balance any state. You can balance any state. I know how to balance myself, you know, after 3 dosages of ayahuasca, you know, I still know how to clean away my own bowl of vomit. You know, I know how to do that. You know, I didn't know it before, but I simply learned how to do it. You know, I know how to have the same night as you drink beer and then be conscious about it. You know. And the point I'm trying to make is there are no excuses. If you are a creator already and you stop creating, if you are an artist, and you stop creating, you're gonna, you know, your spirit is going to wither away. I'm not gonna say you're gonna die, but technically you are. Actually, have I been here before? He just looks like super familiar. No, I have not. This is new. Right, and if society is hyping something, you know, there is a different way of going about this. schade. Like, you can simply be like, you know, let's make this like quote everybody else. Or you can learn to be yourself. And I rather make an effort look at that creepy guy. Very well made. Right? You know, I really go to great length to figure out my shit so that I'm at least, you know, emotionally less of a burden. Wow. That's basically the whole level. Like, another one? Crazy. And that's just my message. I mean, okay. There are no excuses. There are no excuses. You know, if you're an asshole because you think you know it all, well, then you have to accept it. You know, I know what I know. And I know that most people just act like they know something, but they don't. You know, they just stand around. You know these people that stand like this? You know, like, you know, one leg like this? It's very bad for your spine. If you know anything, you're gonna stand straight. And you think you look cool if you stand like this, and then I'm gonna come and I'm gonna say, you know, that's very bad for your spine. I mean, no wonder. I mean, I already have a misaligned spine. But no wonder you have it. I mean, no wonder you are out of balance. If you keep standing like this, I mean, why don't you pay attention to that? Why has nobody ever told you? And probably they have. You just thought you were too smart to listen to them. You know, and that's really stupid. Because if one thing, you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I know how to listen. I know how to listen and I know how to pay attention. And, you know, I've met a lot of people that met the same people I met. And they had basically, because of this, they had access to certain information that I also had, right? Only I was the only one that paid attention to it, that said, okay, I want to know it. I mean, I have this friend who I met fairly early after I would say I've awakened, or I think it was actually basically at that time. And he referred Rupert Sheldrake to me, and I understood it. I was like, oh wow, you know, I thought I have to be an atheist. And now I suddenly realize, you know, that was just in my mind, right? I thought I have to be, because religion just seemed like very stupid, you know? So I thought, well, what's the alternative? Okay, I have to be an atheist. And I listened to, I think it was the first episode, and I just dropped my atheism. I said, okay, but what's, you know, what? Yeah, I get that. You know, what else is there? And so I started looking. And, you know, with the help of others, mostly also on the internet, but certainly with my own help also, by making experiences, but still also with the help of others, you know, I started to learn. And anybody who you could say stood in my way, you know, I just said, cheers, you know. I have no time. If you're too slow, you know, I cannot wait for you. I cannot wait for you, you know. I'm living my life, and if you're too slow, right, I see myself with a woman. And if you are not willing to put in the work, you know, I will find someone who will. Wow. Right? I mean, that's, you know, now I've got balls. You know, that's a fairly easy concept to me. That if you're too slow, we're never gonna meet again. Right? But we will, because I'm really fast. And I may meet you again. But, you know, don't think that we're gonna spend time like we used to. Because I've got no time to keep fooling around with you, to give you all the answers. Because my answers are already out there. My answers are already out there. And if you don't want to listen to me because we knew each other, right? And because I'm also making it hard for people, right? You have to really spend time with the stuff. Because... yeah, okay, I'm done. Okay, just one more time. No. Jesus. It's just so nice. I mean, I like sitting here and talking, you know? And people are trying to tell me I should stop with that. It's like, are you insane? I mean, don't you get it? How much I like doing this? How much I like making crazy experiences? I mean, don't you get it? I love this kind of life. And you still think I hate it. You know, what am I supposed to say to you? What am I supposed to say to you if you fail to understand that there are people who actually like what they're doing and who worked hard to find, you know, what do you have to say to me if you're trying to take away what I like? I mean, because to me, oh, it's very obvious what that means. You're an asshole. You know, you want to pride yourself in helping others. Well, help yourself, you know, that's the best teaching anybody can ever give you. You know, help yourself. And then, you know, allow others to be, you know, to also feel good about what they're doing, instead of trying to take it away from them. You know, if this is what I like, then let me have it. You know, why do you have to destroy it for me? And if you're trying that, then I say you're an asshole. You know, that's just like, that's a very simple truth. If you're trying to destroy what I love, for whatever reason, I don't have to know actually why you're doing this, because it just shows clearly that there's something, you know, you're trying to, you know, you want to be, you know, condescending. I'm trying to be, yeah, I need that. I'm trying to be as least condescending as I can be. And that's really hard because everybody's trying to look down on everyone. I mean, that starts from politicians who think they're super good, right? And that continues with lots and lots of people. right? That continues with people who say they're your friend, but friend, you know, it's just a word. It's just a word, you know? Being a friend is just a word. And that's what I had to realize. People are very good with words. And if I want to know how you're doing, I just look at, okay, you're obese, I think you have problems. You know, you're holding on. So, you know, if you're somebody who's holding on, you know, I don't think we're gonna spend a lot of time because you're gonna annoy me. Because I'm going fast. I'm going really, really fast. I'm going really, really, really fast. I'm going really fast through emotions. Right. Well, you don't even realize what an emotion is, you know. I can just see how you feel. Okay. Well, you're still clinging. Okay, at least they give you a lot of these. Shit. Continue, continue, continue. You see speed at the cost of attention. I mean, you need an insane attention span. Yeah, I'm never gonna make it like that. Possibly. Come on. Now I'm too eager. You know, I just want one more win. You know, forget it. I'm trying to do it once more. Yeah, without trying to, like, kill myself. Okay? I have time to take this thing. You know, I think I have time to go around here. Because whatever life is, you know, it's a struggle. Everybody's struggling. But if you're super slow, you know, you avoid the first one. If you're super slow, then... Right, I mean, if you're stuck and I have time, you know, I can do something. But I think it should be enough to realize that there are people that aren't stuck, or that have worked themselves out of being stuck, right? I mean, that's just the simplest truth that anybody can give you. There are people that have figured it out, you know? You can listen to them, but at one point you have to figure it out for yourself. That's the best truth, right? Anybody can give you, right? At one point, you have to figure it out for yourself. You can only listen to somebody else for such a time, but at one point you have to say, okay, who am I in this, you know? Am I just trying to be him? You know, I cannot be like Chris Webby, you know? Because, you know, I stopped at some point fucking around. I just stopped because I said, you know, it's getting boring. It's getting boring to just screw around. And I think at one point, I think at one point I'm gonna stop, certainly, with YouTube creating content. Simply because you see, I start, I stop. Alright? You know, no more one more time. I just want to stop this now. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this at some point, but I also have to feel ready for it because my head's buzzing. You know, I feel hungry. You know, and I'm still figuring out what to do next. You know, this is not the only thing I want to do in my life. I'm doing this now simply because I'm alone and I'm bored. Right? That's the reason why I'm playing computer games. I'm not playing computer games because it's the best thing in the world. I'm playing computer games because I'm alone and I'm bored. And I don't want to leave the house. You know, I want to create content and I'm trying to be as versatile as I can be. You know, and that's a challenge. And that's all I had to say. I mean, that's like, take it or leave it. Nobody's forcing you to listen to this. Yeah, that was an overload.